Hello everyone. I know I haven't done a DIY collage paper video in a little while. I'm working on other things, and so needless to say, my series of once a week has gotten kind of waylaid, which that happens when you're an artist and you have other chores to do. So today I want to show you a DIY collage paper that was inspired by Jamie over at APG, Artist Poet Girl, Jamie. Her channel is wonderful, and she was doing something else, not necessarily making collage paper, and I'm not sure exactly what she did these pages for, but this is thanks to her to give me this idea, and that is to take a book paper and lay a napkin piece over the top. Now, one of the things you could do is use up, this is a scrap napkin of piece that I got out of my scrap bin, actually, from some other project. It wasn't a brand new napkin. You could use a brand new napkin, but this is a good way to use up your scraps, especially since we know that we're going to cut this or tear this piece of paper up, probably to put in our collages. If you notice, I'm not putting a lot of Mod Podge over the top of this. I am just patting it down so that it stays. Reason being, in my mind, I think that I might not always want that Mod Podge over the top. So I can always add Mod Podge to a piece that I've torn up later, but I can't really take it off. So I'm just patting this down, making sure that I get it all stuck everywhere. And now I have a lovely background with my napkin over the top. Okay, I'm going to lay that aside. I have laid it out on a piece of freezer paper. That's the paper that's paper on one side and plastic on the other. I keep stuff like that on my floor. That way I can just lay pieces out on the floor like that. This is another scrap piece of napkin, and there is no reason why I can't just put this, let's just put it on this way. Right like that. Now, one of the things about napkins is that to cut them apart, the easiest way to do that is to just wet it down. And if you're not being, if it's not something you're having to work around, you can just take that out like that. Let's just take this piece out. And see what happens. I might not put it on there just simply because I don't want to fuss with it today. But we'll just put this on this piece of white paper. This is just white copy paper. And that way it has a backing. Now, when I'm collaging, why would I want not to just put the napkin directly on my piece? Well, maybe I don't want what's behind it to show. Maybe I would rather have the napkin be a dimensional piece. It might be raised. There's all kinds of reasons. I love the idea of putting the piece behind the book paper behind it. That way I've got that book paper already behind the napkin, but I have a little scrap of paper that I can add to my piece. So there's a lot of reasons why to go ahead and do this. Not only that, like I said, these are scraps out of my scrap bin. And now they'll be ready to use in my projects or in my collages or even in a glue book piece if I wanted to, because quite frankly, in my glue book, I have not been using the Mod Podge, and napkins are a little tough to stick down with glue stick. You can do it. Besides, that piece of napkin I might not have used had it not had a background. This napkin wasn't going to be as pretty on a book paper. That's one of the reasons why I chose to put it on a white paper. Now, this has little wrinkles in it. If you guys know me, you know I don't care if it's got little wrinkles in it. I just want to make sure it's well glued down. The Mod Podge will soak through the napkin and glue it from the other side. So that is another piece of collage paper. I'm going to do one more piece, and then I have a couple of pieces that are already dried that I'm going to show you how they tear up. And then again, this was a leftover piece of napkin. It also feels good to use something out of my bin of scraps to make something else. So these papers, this would also be fabulous to use in a cluster where it's a little harder to use a napkin in a cluster because it doesn't have any substance. So this would be ready for using as a chunk in a little cluster of some sort. I forgot to take it apart. There we go. Now I happen to know this piece is wider than the other one, than the page, so we'll just tear off this straight line. We'll put a little on top right there, and we'll stick this one down. Now, if they overlap, you may have to come up with a little bit more Mod Podge to make it stick down. But you see, I'm just tapping the brush. And this is my collage mixture. It is not straight Mod Podge. You guys, those of you that know me, know I don't use a straight mixture. I use a collage medium, or a straight Mod Podge. I use a collage medium. I'll try to remember to put the link right up there in the video to the video I made, my collage medium. But it's a mixture of Elmer's Glue All and Mod Podge. It makes it so that the Mod Podge does not dry so shiny and sticky so that it sticks to itself. So there I have created 3 pieces of collage paper with my scraps from my napkin bin. And now let me clean this mess off the table. And I have a couple of pieces that I did ahead of time so that we can maybe tear a piece up so that you can see what I'm talking about. Let's just say that I want this little piece right here for a cluster. I can now take this piece of paper, and this isn't completely dry because the book paper is still a little damp, but we have to leave that number in because, you know, I like numbers. And now I have a piece that's ready to go in my collage over a word where whatever's behind it isn't going to show through. It would make a really cute piece to add to a cluster. We could, oh, there's a little piece of scrap. We could put it like so. So that is why I would put the napkins on the paper ahead of time. That is why I would have some of these in my collage papers bin. And I thank Jamie for the video where I thought, oh, that's a really good idea for collage papers. So I hope this, you know, little DIY collage series is something that you're enjoying, and I hope that it's giving you some inspiration. And now I'm going to tell you, go have fun, make some art. Bye-bye.